Welcome to College Sport Check for Monday, January 25th. Scores and schedules. First, the scores. College basketball scores for Friday, January 22nd as follows. Stony Brook defeats Albany 69-63. Canisius over Niagara 70-61. DeCousnay over Georgia Mason 86-75. Fairfield over Marist 88-76. Northern Kentucky over Illinois Chicago 82-69. George Washington over Rhode Island 62-58. Iona defeats St. Peter's 64-58. Northern Illinois over Toledo 58-49. Wright State over Valparaiso 73-62, and Yale defeats Brown 90-66. College basketball scores for Saturday, January 23rd. Oklahoma defeats Baylor 82-72. Kansas over Texas 76-67. Villanova and Providence, that game was postponed. Xavier defeats Seton Hall 84-76. West Virginia over Texas Tech 80-76. Michigan State over Maryland 74-65. SMU and Temple was postponed Saturday. They played on yesterday. Temple beating SMU. So SMU goes from 18-0 and they are now 18-1. Texas A&M defeats Missouri 66-63. 66-53. California over Arizona 74-73. Miami defeats Wake Forest 77-63. Louisville over Georgia Tech 75-71. Creighton over Butler 72-64. Iowa State over TCU 73-60. Duke over NC State 88-78. Kentucky over Vanderbilt 76-57. Tennessee over South Carolina 78-69. Indiana defeating Northwestern 89-57. Incarnate Word over Abilene Christian 74-60. Alcorn over Alabama A&M 63-58. Southern University over Alabama State 73-69. Stanford defeats Arizona State 75-73. Arkansas Pine Bush over Prairie View A&M 45-44. Georgia defeats Arkansas 76-73. Florida over Auburn 95-63. Pepperdine over BYU 71-65. Ball State over Eastern Michigan 88-87. Maryland Eastern Shore 74-72. Boise State over Wyoming 81-71. Notre Dame over Boston College 76-49. Wichita State over Bradley 88-54. Bucknell defeats Boston University 74-71. Western Michigan over Buffalo 91-71. UC Santa Barbara over Cal State Northridge 74-61. East Tennessee State over Citadel 101-92. Cal Poly over Cal State Fullerton 83-75. Central Arkansas over Nicholls State 94-83. Coastal Carolina defeats Charleston Southern 78-63. Chattanooga and VMI postponed on Saturday. Colorado over Washington State 75-70. Columbia over Cornell 79-68. Davidson and Richmond, that game also postponed. Rest of the scores from Saturday as follows. Charleston defeats Delaware 59-58. Milwaukee over Detroit 83-80. Loyola Chicago over Drake 68-63. Eastern Illinois defeating Austin Peay 87-86. Montana over Eastern Washington 74-69. Florida International over UTEP 79-69. Florida A&M and Howard, that game was postponed. Florida Atlantic defeats UTSA 86-71. Fresno over Air Force 55-56. Georgia Southern Appalachian State postponed. UConn over Georgetown 68-62. Gonzaga over Pacific 71-61. Jackson State over Grambling 60-45. Grand Canyon defeating UMKC 85-78. Dartmouth over Harvard 63-50. Liberty over High Point 69-67. Houston Baptist over Lamar 92-79. IUPUI over IPFW 84-82. Montana State over Idaho 70-68. Illinois over Minnesota 76-71. Jacksonville State and Morehead State. That game was postponed. Jacksonville University defeated South Carolina Upstate 77-68. James Madison over Ellen 82-64. Kent State over Bowling Green State 62-59. LSU over Alabama 72-70. Lehigh and Lafayette, that game was postponed. A lot of games postponed because of the storm. UC Riverside over Long Beach State 74-72. Louisiana Tech over Southern Miss 70-59. Marquette and St. John's, that game was postponed until Sunday. And we'll have all the Sunday scores in a minute. Marshall over Old Dominion 78-75. Mercer, West Carolina, that game was also postponed. I believe that game was on Sunday too, I believe. Akron over Miami, Ohio 75-46. Michigan over Nebraska 81-68. Texas Southern over Mississippi Valley State 75-60. And then Mississippi State defeating Ole Miss 83-77. Mount St. Mary and Fairleigh Dickinson, that game was postponed until Sunday. McNeese State over Northwestern State 75-74. NC Central and Delaware State was postponed. The Army-Navy game also postponed. New Mexico defeating San Jose State 83-64. New Mexico State over Cal State Bakersfield 68-67. Texas A&M CC and New Orleans. Texas A&M CC defeats New Orleans 97-76. North Dakota over South Utah 88-72. North Dakota State over Western Illinois 65-52. Florida and NJIT, they played that game on Sunday. UAB and North Texas. UAB defeats North Texas 78-57. Northern Colorado over Northern Arizona 84-79. Oakland over Green Bay 111-95. Central Michigan over Ohio 72-49. Kansas State over Oklahoma State 89-73. Omaha over Oral Roberts 85-79. Pittsburgh over Florida State 74-72. St. Mary's over Portland 89-74. North Carolina Asheville over Presbyterian 67-55. Middle Tennessee over Rice 87-73. Robert Morris defeats Bryant 65-54. Norfolk over South Carolina State 85-74. Murray State over SIUE 72-54. Sacred Heart and Wagner, that game was postponed. St. Joseph and LaSalle also postponed on Saturday. St. Louis over UMass 86-75. Stephen F. Austin defeating Sam Houston 76-64. LMU over San Diego 67-63. Hampton over Savannah State 73-52. Louisiana Monroe defeating South Alabama 100-68. South Dakota State over South Dakota 79-75. South Florida over Houston 71-62. St. Francis of Brooklyn defeating LIU Brooklyn 64-49. And then St. Francis of Pennsylvania defeating Central Connecticut State 79-64. Stetson over Kennesaw State 84-79. Tennessee Tech over Eastern Kentucky 89-83. Towson over Northeastern 79-72. Louisiana Lafayette defeating Troy 88-65. Arkansas Little Rock defeating Texas Arlington 68-72. Hawaii over UC Davis 78-62. Oregon over UCLA 86-72. Illinois State over Northern Iowa 76-67. Nevada over UNLV 65-63. Seattle over Texas Pan American 70-59. San Diego State over Utah State 70-55. Utah Valley State over Chicago State 82-76. Idaho State over Weber State 69-68. Charlotte over Western Kentucky 88-71. And last for Saturday, Furman defeating Wofford 63-62. This is the home of the Scores College Sport Check, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, part of the family of podcast. Here are the scores from Sunday. January 24th. College basketball scores as follows. North Carolina defeating Virginia Tech 75-70. Providence over Villanova 82-78. And here's the Temple SMU game. Temple defeating SMU 89-80. So again, SMU going into that game undefeated. Temple seals the deal. Now, SMU now 18-1. So again, Temple 89, SMU 80. Iowa defeating Purdue 83-71. Virginia over Syracuse 73-66. Oregon State over USC 85-70. Binghamton over Massachusetts Lowell 64-57. Princeton over Princeton defeats a college called Bryan Athyn, BRYN space ATHYN, and I don't know whether it is, but Princeton beat them 100-44. Dayton and Fordham, Dayton defeating Fordham 64-50. East Carolina over Memphis 84-83. Okay, Indiana State over Evans 82-65. Lipscomb over FGCU 91-75. Redford over Gardner-Webb 69-59. New Hampshire defeats Hartford 84-71. Wright State over Illinois Chicago 80-66. Fairfield over Iona 98-91. And then Mount St. Mary's defeats Fairleigh Dickinson 87-72. That game was on Saturday. That they rescheduled it for Sunday. Jacksonville State and Morehead State. That game also. Jacksonville State winning this one 78-74. Stony Brook and Maine was scheduled for Sunday. That game was postponed, and also St. Peter's and Manhattan Sunday also postponed. Monmouth defeats Marist 83-72. Marquette over St. John's 78-73. West Carolina over Mercer 86-80. And then North Florida defeating NJIT 94-80. Ryder over Quinnipiac 75-52. Sacred Heart over Wagner 67-58. St. Joseph's defeating LaSalle 69-48. North Carolina Greensboro over Samford 86-78. Siena over Canisius 99-78. Southern Illinois over Missouri State 82-65. VCU defeating St. Bonaventure 80-76. Belmont over Tennessee State 103-95. Southeast Missouri over Tennessee Martin 68-60. Cincinnati over Tulane 97-75. Tulsa defeating Central Florida 75-60. Vermont over UMBC 79-72. UNCW over Drexel 77-71. Utah over Washington 80-75. Winthrop over Longwood 82-68. And finally, Youngstown State YASU defeating Cleveland State 70-55. And that is the scores from this weekend. Here's the schedule for tonight. For Monday at 7 o'clock, it's Duke and Miami. Alright, the Blue Devils and the Hurricanes, 7 o'clock, ESPN. And then at 9 o'clock, it's Kansas and Iowa State. For Tuesday, as follows, 7 o'clock on Tuesday, 4 games at 7 Tuesday night. Texas Tech and Oklahoma, ESPN 2. Kansas State and West Virginia on ESPN W. Virginia and Wake Forest, ESPN 3. Mississippi State and South Carolina, ESPN 3. Indiana and Wisconsin on ESPN. And then at 8:30 for Tuesday, it's Xavier and Providence. And that is on Fox Sports 1. Next, College Sport Check update on Wednesday. Okay, so hope everybody got through the big storm all right over the weekend. And hopefully everybody's done shoveling. So we'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in from New York. This is Manny Allegretta. Be good and be safe. And this has been College Sport Check.
That's it, sports fans. Thanks for watching, and good night.